You are always thinking of ways to start a business, but you are never able to settle on a concrete idea. In this video, I will be presenting to you 3 ways in which you can discover your business idea. The 3 ways we will be looking at are: number 1, we will be looking at your skills and your passion. What business are you able to build from what you already know, what you love, and what you are gifted to do? Number 2, what are the problems or the opportunities that are presenting itself in your community, church, or even in the general marketplace? The third way you can start your business is looking at the available resources that you have. What are some tools or some space or even people that you are connected to already in your life that you can utilize to start your business? At this point, you might be saying that I don't have any special skills or passion. Or you might be even thinking, who would purchase what I have to offer anyway? But I want to reassure you that you were uniquely created by God for a specific purpose. And that gift that you have within you will make room for you. In Jeremiah 1, verse 5 and 6, God said to Jeremiah, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nation." He also says in Proverbs 18, verse 16, that a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. You will see your gift as being small, but in the eyes of someone else, your gift is very great. And in Jeremiah 29, verse 11, I want to assure you that your future is already written by God. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Making God the center of your life and the center of your business is key in fulfilling the future that God has already planned for you. So we are going to be doing a deep dive into the skills and the passion that already exist within us. We are going to be turning the searchlight within ourselves. So I want you to get a notebook and a pen. And as we go through this lesson, I want you to write down the things that are coming to you as we ask ourselves these questions and as we explore these ideas together. When we think of the skills and the passion that we have, I want to ask you some specific questions. The first question I want to ask you is, what do you enjoy doing as a person? What do you enjoy doing as a person? Now, I have some skills on the screen here. You can take a screenshot of it. You might say, I enjoy cooking, baking, I enjoy teaching, I enjoy speaking, organizing, I enjoy taking photographs. These are just general examples of things you might enjoy doing. I enjoy traveling. I enjoy planning events. I enjoy agriculture. I enjoy doing personal care, doing massage. I enjoy designing. What are things in your life that you see that you enjoy doing? Now, you might be saying to yourself, I don't see anything that I enjoy doing. I don't really enjoy doing any of those that are on the screen. Now, I want to coin the question in another way that may best suit you. If you say you do not enjoy doing anything, I want to ask you this question. What are your talents, skills, or your gifts? Have anybody ever said to you, you are talented in a particular area? When it comes to your skills, did you go to school to learn a specific skill or trade? In your life experience, is there something you would have mastered very well that can become a skill? What are some gifts, some things that you do just naturally, and persons would say to you, boy, you are gifted in this area. I want you to write these down. Also, you may go a little further and ask yourself, what do you feel passionate about? And again, passion is something that excites you. What is a particular topic that every time you hear someone speaking about this, you also engage in this topic? What particular activity that when you are performing this activity, your entire personality just becomes alive? What is that thing that you're so passionate about? Write that down as well. What do people usually come to you for help with? Sometimes you think you are not gifted. Sometimes you think you do not enjoy doing a thing. Sometimes you say you're not passionate. But really and truly, persons have been coming to you for help in a particular area or for a particular thing. What is that thing that persons are always coming to you for? I want you to take key note of this and I want you to write it down. So, if you say you are gifted or you are talented in teaching, can you use this to start a school, a basic school, early child care? If you say you enjoy cooking, you can use this to start a restaurant. If you enjoy baking in your spare time, you can start a baking business and sell your products. If you like organizing, you can start a cleaning agency. If you are passionate about children, you could start a daycare. If you are passionate about the elderly, you could offer personal services for the elderly. You could have a home for the elderly. Do you enjoy planning events? You could become a events coordinator. There are so many things that we are gifted at, but we fail to utilize the gifts and the talents that God has endued upon us to generate the income that He so desires for us to enjoy. Now, the second way we can start a business is by looking at the problems and the opportunities that exist around us. Some questions I want you to ask yourself are: number one, what needs or problems do you see in your environment that needs to be solved? The second question you can ask yourself is, what products or services are in demand today and you realize that these needs are not being met? Can you start a business and provide these services or products? The third question you can ask yourself in this category is there a business idea you have always wanted to try? And in order for you to come up with these solutions, You can think about the everyday frustrations that people encounter around you. You can look at the things that people are complaining about. You may even go a step further and you may say, what do people actually leave the community to go outside and purchase? If they have to travel miles and miles to purchase something, can you start a business within your community to offer that service? So, if you realize that sometimes there will be opportunities that are hiding in plain sight before us, let us look within the church community. On your paper, I want you to write down what some services or support that you can give to the congregation. These are things that you realize are needed, but no one is providing this within the church. Can you offer that service? When we look within our community, what do people travel far to buy? What is missing locally within your community? Can you start a business to provide that? If you go to school, when you look within your school environment, what are some frustrations that students will encounter, your teachers, or even the parents? What do they face on a daily basis? And you can now use this opportunity to provide this as a business service. When you look also online, what are some products or some services that are trending that your skills can be used to utilize and serve the online market community? The third way that we can identify a business idea is by looking at the available resources that we have. So the questions I want you to ask yourself is, what resources do you already have access to? Some of the resources that you might have access to is, you may have a laptop, you may have a smartphone, and you may have high speed internet. How can you combine these to create a business and to serve the online market? You may have a printer at home. How can you use this to start a business? You may have a extra room. How can you use this to get revenue from a rental? Right? You may have a vehicle. Can you use it to start sales? If you have kitchen space, can you start a restaurant? Can you start selling natural juices? Also, you look at the people who you have in your life, supportive partners, persons who will help you to start this business. And you also can take into consideration your time, because time is a valuable resource. I want to assure you that there are already provisions within your life. If you look around you, you can identify areas or resources that you can utilize to start a business. Now, we have gone through three areas, and you would have written down vast amount of ideas, because ideas would have been flowing to your head, coming in ways that you can actually start your business. Now we are at the point where we want to make a choice. And from all the different things that you have written, I want you to identify your top three ideas. But in choosing these ideas, I want you to ask God guidance and divine alignment in order for you to make your choice. Because, as we said before, we want to ensure that our business is aligned with the future that God has for us. So, write those three major ones that you feel aligned with. And from these three, I am going to ask you to select one. This will be your starting point. Select one idea, and this is the one that you feel most compelled and aligned with. But before we end, I want to ensure that we are being realistic. In creating a business, it is not like we are decoding a mystery. We want to view it as partnering with God. You are partnering with God using the abilities and the resources that He has already placed in your life. I want you also to think about starting very small. Choose a starting point where you can start today and not in the future. And in order for you to start small, you have to simplify the process. You have to think of what you have now. What can you use now in order to start in the shortest possible time? And remember also that the possibility exists that you can adjust and you can expand as time progresses. No, sometimes persons say they want to start a business, and the first thing that comes to their mind is leaving their day job. No. In order for you to start your business, you need to build it alongside your day job. And as soon as the business is able to cover the income of your day job, then you can look at realistically leaving your day job to devote yourself to your business. In order for you to build this business, you have to tell persons around you. And ways you can do that is you can post it on your WhatsApp status, you can post it on social media, your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok account. And we need to also recognize that our first clients are always the persons that we already know. I want you, as upcoming business owners and entrepreneurs, to commit yourself to lifelong learning. As your business grow, you need to grow as well. In order for your business to expand, you need to have a continuous lifelong learning mentality. Your idea is already closer than you think. And in order for you to start your business, in order for you to be successful, anything you want to do in business, you have to allow the Lord to order your steps. Psalms 37, verse 23 says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So if you need to re-listen this video, I want you to go back through and I want you to take some time and I want you to sit down and think about your skills, your passions. Think about your community. Think about the problems and the opportunities that are existing around you that you can use. Think about the resources that you have, the things that God has already placed in your life, the life experiences that you have, and want you to invite God into the process in selecting one idea that you will use to start your business. In our next video, we will be looking at how do we take our idea and now launch our first business. So from idea to action, the first steps to launching your business. God bless you. Until our next video, I want you to like and I want you to subscribe, and I also want you to share with someone who have always wanted to start a business. God bless you.